Hello there, beautiful, and welcome to The Dark Alchemist. I hope you're well. We are moving into the last month of the year, and I, for one, am super excited about the new year, about the new beginning that's coming up. And how are you feeling about this? How are you doing? With November and December, it's both months where I spend a lot more time indoors, and I've been doing that so far with a lot of drawing and meditating and just enjoying the cozy times inside. And because of that, I've been creating a couple of things. The first one is actually the basis for this reading, because I'm creating for 2023 right now a yearly planner. So it will be a digital calendar, but there is a healing element that I'm channeling and writing about and involved with it, alongside all of the regular calendar elements that you need with, your monthly overviews, the goal setting, etc. It just has a very gentle quality to it. And the reading that we do today is part of it, because in the planner I am pulling wisdom from animal guides for each month, as well as a topic. So the topic is kind of their power quality. So for this month, it's the owl, and the power quality is dreams. And the owl is an animal that is seen as clairvoyant. It's a very mystic animal. It has a lot of wisdom. And because of that wisdom and the psychic qualities, being able to see in the dark and hunting in the darkness as well, being one of the only animals around that can see usually, has a lot of wisdom surrounding that. Because particularly when it comes to dreams, usually we are the only ones who intuitively can feel our way into it and can know whether or not it will be fruitful. And it has nothing to do with anyone outside of ourselves. So that's why the owl spirit is coming through for this month's reading. And like I said, just like I'm doing this, I will do it for the whole of the next year. So there will be healing. It's a healing planner surrounding the animal guides and their power qualities, as well as some additional content. I'm creating it right now. I'm writing and I'm drawing for it a lot as well. And I think it will be finished around mid-December. And when it is, I'm so excited about it. I will create another video. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's up, what's good. So for today's reading, we have 3 elements actually to it. The first one will be a candle. So each pile will get a beautiful star candle. So you can basically make a wish upon a star. And this will be our intention candle for each pile, and I will let it burn down off camera, so that we will set the intention for it together. There will be the tarot reading, and then I have, for the end, a little book divination, where I will pull one poem for each pile and read it. Okay, let's get into the actual reading. From all of my decks, I pulled 3 owl cards, and I'm going to let you choose. I'm going to show them to you now, and then also have crystals for you to pick. So for pile 1, we have this owl. For pile 2, we have this owl card. And for pile number 3, we have this owl card. If you prefer to choose with crystals, I have those as well, and I will show them to you now. For pile number 1, we have fluorite. For pile number 2, we have rose quartz. And for pile number 3, we have citrine. Now I will zoom in for you and give you a close-up view of the cards and the crystals. Take a couple of deep breaths and then you can see whether you feel drawn to a particular image of it or pick the crystals. I will give you a 30-second meditation with some music alongside that, and you will find the timestamps in the description box down below, and I will see you in your selected piles. If you chose this beautiful owl card and the fluorite, welcome to your reading. I'm very excited for this reading today. I love the topic of dreams in general. And after I pulled your card, so I have not seen all of them because a lot of them actually came the wrong side up and then I don't flip them over. But I like to meditate a little bit with your cards before we get into the reading, and I got a few messages for you straight away. The first message that I got was regarding the topic of this reading, because I heard that you are trying to change your living conditions in order to be able to heal, or to heal fully. And I heard that you spent a significant amount of time daydreaming about the new home, and I got the go for you. So they said, keep it up, like keep up the daydreaming. I think we will talk a little bit more about this during the reading, about the importance of visualizing and daydreaming, because daydreaming is visualizing the new in order to be able to manifest it. And then I heard one last word for you, and that made me smile so much because I just straight up heard the word success. I just heard straight up success. So I'm excited. Before we get into the other cards, I would like to read, and that's also why I'm smiling, this owl card, this owl message for you, because I pulled them from different decks. Each of them has a slightly different meaning to it. So to have all of the success come out for you, you'll see in a second. But before I read this, let's have a short look at this. Because even though there's all of this darkness around, right, and owls are able to see through the darkness. That is, they hunt at night. They're predators. They hunt at night. They have, you see the feathers here that have kind of this like ragged edge almost. That is why owls are able to hunt at night without making any sounds. So when it comes to manifesting a home or particularly other or like new living conditions in order to be able to heal, with these feathers being highlighted for me, tells me that it's important for you right now to be a bit more quiet about what you're planning to do. A bit more quiet about this to the people around you. The owl never misses, and don't mistake being silent for inaction. It's not being inactive. It's being active, but keeping it a little more to yourself until it's time to share it. The other thing I want to highlight is that even though there is this darkness around, there are all of these different spots of colors, and you actually have all of the chakra colors in here that are all around. So I'm getting a sense that your whole body, like every single part of you, is on board with the new living conditions, which is most likely why it will be very successful, because there is not a lot of resistance present within yourself when it comes to manifesting this. But let me read this to you straight away. Owl. Abundance, clairvoyant, and treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When in balance, generous, trusting, secure. When out of balance, money quarrels and scarcity. Well, we did get a very clear indicator about the abundance and about the success level that's waiting for you. With this little introduction, let's get into your wish candle. I just wanted to dive into the energy with you a little bit first. So we do have this beautiful candle today that looks like a star, and I want you to take a few deep breaths and think about your dream, about what you want to manifest, about the home, about the living conditions that you want to create for yourself. I want you to think of them. I want you to think of them, and we will light the candle together. So we'll take a deep breath in. And I saw that the owl decided to be more in frame than the candle, but I've lit it. There's nothing we can do about it. You need to trust that it worked. Like I said, I will let this burn down off camera for you, but this is for your dream. I'm going to put your crystal right up here. This will stay here, and let's get into your first few cards, actually. Oh, nice. So we did get the card of the home. I didn't see this before. Oh, I love it. Okay. We have animals. We have the Sun card. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. And listen, the only reason why I'm laughing is because this is already feels like it's the messages I got before. So and then we have the grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. Oh, I love this so much for you. Now, the outcome of this feels very straightforward to me because we have the new home. By the way, when it comes to home, this can be a physical home, but it does not necessarily have to be a physical home. Even me saying that you want to change your living conditions in order to be able to heal, the home card can also speak of the metaphorical home, the home that you build within yourself, how you are feeling about yourself and your body, if you are feeling like you are a good home for yourself. This can be about the physical body that maybe feels very, very stressed and therefore doesn't feel as homey, or it can be releasing limiting beliefs in order to make a home that feels as cozy as this one. I mean, when we look at this one, it is in the middle of the woods. We have the sunflowers here, which are even more symbols about abundance and sun energy, literal sun energy. And we have a crow up here, which is another magical ally, another magical animal that speaks about past, present, and future. So more clairvoyant energies that are present here. And I feel like that's why the animal card is here as well, because you get a lot of signs and synchronicities through animals. And I didn't even realize that there's also an owl up here, like down there. I never realized that. So you get the owl, and you got this straight up confirmation from another owl card that anytime the owl is showing up for you, it will be with messages surrounding this. So you're very connected to the animal realm, which is very, very beautiful. And you get, because we have the clairvoyance here, and you are using your daydreaming, so your visualization abilities, in order to manifest the new home. I get a sense that you do get parts of the messages about animals, and then you talk yourself out of that a bit, where you are doubting your own intuition and telling yourself that it's not realistic. That's the word that I'm hearing, not realistic. First of all, when it comes to the word realistic, and let's say something like manifesting a home, there are countless of people who have used visualization techniques in order to manifest a home. So just based off of that, because others have done it before you, it is a realistic endeavor to go about this in that particular way. It may not be at the present time the way that most people will do it, or I'm going to say the norm, but that doesn't mean that it's unrealistic. And I feel like that's where keeping a bit more quiet about this comes into play as well, because when you're sharing this with people who are not aligned with creating their lives in this particular way with visualization and more along the lines of manifestation, it can be very easy to be discouraged, because they will throw in your face that it's not realistic and you are just a dreamer. But first of all, dreamers are how our world changes. If no one would ever dream about something new, we would not have evolved as a species ever. All of us would still be living in caves and hunting and gathering. So first of all, that's an argument that's a non-argument. It doesn't make any sense. And second of all, when you keep it more to yourself, you allow the vision and the idea to gain momentum, because you are feeding it and feeding it and feeding it without the doubts that are creeping in, without any other interfering energies. So in manifestation, there is a certain period where it's important to keep things more to yourself before you go and share it with others. And then you share it with others who are, I'm going to say, more aligned with you, more aligned, who will understand the method that you go about. Like the method that you're employing, they will understand it. And because of that, there will be the right people to share, because their enthusiasm will then feed your vision in a way. And, when it's manifested, etc., that's when you can go and share it with others, when you have a stable foundation within yourself. That's the moment where you can then go and share, but also you don't have to share. You could also just, when you're moving, you're like, hey, I'm moving. Depending on your situation, of course, because this is a collective reading. There are a lot of different variations of these living conditions that I spoke of. The reason why, when we spoke about the home card, I also drew your attention to the home that you built within yourself is because we have the sun card. because I'm getting like two different paths for my collective of pile number ones, like all of you. There's one part of you that are literally manifesting a physical home to move and heal. And there is a second part of you, second half of you, that is trying to heal yourselves, create a new home within yourself by focusing more on joy, enjoyment, the life force, the vitality, and play. What I mean by that is that you are reigniting your own spark. You are having fun with your life again. You are finding your lightness again. I mean, quite literally with the sunlight, but also you're finding your lightness again in the way that you move through your life. The way in which you're interacting with others, with yourself, where there's a lightness to you that, to give you a practical example, you hear a song that you really enjoy and all of a sudden you just find yourself dancing because you just want to. And it can be you just by yourself while you're folding laundry, for example. You know what I mean? That's this type of lightness that I'm feeling, this energy. This is this revitalizing element to it. And when you look at this card, you see, I mean, there are two figures quite literally dancing, but you see there are all of the roses down here are in bloom, in full bloom. So there's a fullness waiting for you. When it comes to the physical home that you're manifesting, I mean, this is the biggest sign that you could get is a yes, because I also heard the word success before we even started, and we have success mirrored here. So this is a big, big, big success. What you are trying to create will be fruitful. When it comes to you revitalizing yourself, doing things that you are enjoying, bringing an element of movement into it, being playful just for the sake of it, just doing things because you enjoy them and not because they're geared towards a certain outcome, whatever that looks like for you. There are so many different things. You can, if you are clueless and you don't really know where to start, although I'm getting a sense that you know where to start, a nice thing to reconnect to is a passion that you had when you were a kid. And then go ahead and reconnect with that. Just see how it feels, because that is a good starting point to reconnect with this innocent type of joy and to come back into the play element of it all. And then we have from the grandmothers here, remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. I'm being very drawn to trust the weavings, for you to trust your intuition, because you are visualizing this. It's trusting what you're seeing when you're visualizing is, personally, I feel like one of the hardest aspects of manifesting is to trust what you're seeing, trust what you're envisioning, trust that this can come into being, this can manifest in the physical reality for you. The very fact that you are able to see it and visualize it is proof that it exists, that you can do it. Otherwise you wouldn't see it like that right first off the bat. So nice. Okay, I think actually I want to move on. I want to have a sip of my tea and then I want to move on. Okay, I pulled some cards for you with a question of how you can support yourself through this journey. And let's see. We have you are, embrace the magic of your being. And do you see several things? First of all, you see here her third eye is open. So the third eye, right, that's the center for the visualization. That's the center of clairvoyance as well. And she has the cosmos in her hands, in between her hands, right? So this is and around the navel. The navel is the sacral chakra. It's the emotional center. And the connection from the emotional center to the third chakra is very important when it comes to manifesting, because when you are visualizing and you are fueling your visualizations of your home or anything that you want to manifest with the positive emotions and feeling like it already exists, feeling like just how would you feel in your new home, basically, is what I'm trying to say. How would you feel sitting on the couch in your new home? How would it feel and look like to cook there or do anything else, any other activity? How would you feel? And then fuel your visualizations with this feeling aspect and stay in the feeling as much as you can. There are also on YouTube quite a few meditations on not just manifesting, but specifically on the feeling aspect of it all. And I'm also being drawn to EFT, the emotional freedom technique, which is a tapping. It's a holistic type of healing that connects speaking with energy centers of your body and releasing energy and building things up. I will leave one down below for you. It's a short one about feeling like you have it. So that's the additional resource that I'm going to give you for it, feeling like you already have it, which will be very good for you to do. And all of these different activities about the visualization, you're already doing the daydreaming. Do it regularly. It's a practice. What you're essentially doing is you're practicing the vibration of being in this new place, being in this new energy, which will then release the resistance that you have, because the bridge between where you are and where you want to go doesn't feel as big anymore for you, because feeling wise you're already there. So to go then from feeling wise you already experienced it to having it in the physical is not a large gap anymore, and that's when the manifestation comes in. I'm also heavily being drawn to the moon cycles here. And if you are not working with moon energy currently, I would like to encourage you to look specifically, because we're talking about manifestation here, specifically into manifesting with the new moon. And if you want to take it one step further, look into your astrology chart, into your birth chart, into the fourth house, because the fourth house is connected to the physical home. And anytime there's a new moon in your personal physical fourth house is the most powerful time to manifest a new house, to make a ritual surrounding that. So any new moon is good for this. This birth chart is just the cherry on top, so to speak. And if you want to know how to calculate that, I will leave a video down below for you, or an article, something. I will leave a source down below for you. There's a book that I personally really love, which is called Moonology by Jasmine Boland. But if you don't want to, where she goes like all over with like every single house, it's great. I love it. They even journaling prompts in there. So if you're in the position to get this book and you're interested in that, might be a good purchase for you. But you don't necessarily need the book in order to find out where your fourth house is, right? So this is the second resource I will leave down there for you. And then let me actually look into the other cards for you, because wow, okay. You have the goddess of magic and love. We have, oh wow, right underneath the owl and the clairvoyance, you have a labradorite with wisdom, intuition, and divination. This is so synchronistic. And we even have the wishing star in the card. Wow. This is on fire. Okay. We have garnet, passion, sensuality, and grounding. We have cycle, honor your phases. And you see she sits in an opened lotus flower here. Third eye is open here as well. And there are the moon phases highlighted for me again. And then I also have rest. I am particularly being drawn to, by the way, on my camera right now, it says 66. So, and I need to change my battery. But I feel like 66 might be a number sequence that is important for you. Go ahead, look it up. If it pops up for you from now on, by the way, it will be connected to this. It will be confirmation about the success. So it's a number that the owl guide will use in order to get your attention. But I will change my battery in 1 second. And I'm back. I'm being very, very drawn to the hands here and like you just holding it in your hands. And holding something in your hands like this is a very gentle way of holding something. And I'm being drawn to this tenderness and gentleness in the sense of, I'm getting an image. It's like there is a butterfly that you're having in your hands. And butterflies are delicate creatures, and they're showing me the butterfly as the symbol for your dream in this sense. So it's like gently holding and taking care of your dream and like nurturing it in a way. We have like it's in your hands, like you have this power to create this through your intuition in your hand. Like it's in your hands to nurture this energy and let it grow, because I feel like it's more about the energy, like you're in the energy stage of it more than anything else right now. Yeah, so the energy buildup. And I say more than anything else right now, but let's be honest here, the energy stage is the most important one and it's the biggest one. So the physical manifestation aspect of, let's say, going and looking at houses is actually the smallest part of the manifestation. So you are right in the bulk of the work of this. And then we have here with passion, sensuality, and grounding. The passion and sensuality again brings me back to the feelings that you're employing when you're visualizing this new living conditions for yourself, this new home, is to be passionate about it. And the sensuality is also when you're visualizing it, feeling certain fabrics. Let's say you have a super fluffy carpet in front of your couch. Imagine how that would feel like. How fluffy would it be? What would you do? Would you sit on it sometimes? Or how would it feel against the bottom of your feet, for example, right? So you can engage all of your senses in this visualization to supercharge it. To bring it, to supercharge it. And then we have honor your phases, and we have rest. For me, these two not only belong together, but it's kind of where, in a way, getting the confirmation which part of the phase that you're in, which is the resting phase. But again, the resting phase is very, very important, because that's when new ideas are seeded and tended to, kind of in the dark, fertile void, tended to before they can emerge and like break through the top of the soil and come out into the world. So this is a like germination phase in a way that you're in, and the resting aspect is very important. And you see also in both of these, actually in all of these cards, this person is sitting in a meditation posture. So meditating, visualizing is very, very important for you, is highlighted. It's like big part of the owl wisdom is to sit and connect. And with the moon phases as well, and with having like 2 different cards for the moon phases, you can also, like I said, work alongside the moon phases. Now, I do have a closing message for you. I asked for one card and they gave me 3, and I'm not arguing with that. If 3 come out, I take 3. And the first one that we have is possibilities. By the way, all of the decks that I'm using will be linked in the description box down below. Possibilities. Just letting you take a moment to really look into this card, look at the face. Possibilities. It's the yew tree. Sometimes you can lose sight of your purpose and feel bogged down by obstacles you perceive as holding you back. Remember who you are and where you want to be going in life. Find a way to cut the fixed patterns of thought and behavior that bind you to the past. That's so powerful and brings me back to what I spoke of earlier about sharing your vision with others and then feeling a bit bogged down because they say it's unrealistic. Again, remember who you are and where you want to be going in your life. Remember that you are magic. Embrace the magic of your being. You can create this. Then we have resilience. This card just makes me smile because this energy just looks so happy, even all of the hearts that are down here. I love this deck. It's so cute. The cedar tree with resilience. When going through change and difficulty, exploring old patterns of doing things can help you move forward. Rewrite your story about overcoming adversity and coping with change. You can do this. And then we have nourishment. The fig tree. I love that it looks like just like blood that is kind of running through the veins. Nourishment. Combat feelings of emptiness by generating your own soul food. What do you really want right now? Expressing your needs will provide the desired energy needed to move forward. And I love that because the soul food is essentially the sun energy with the joy and enjoyment, the vitality in play, right? This is regenerating yourself. This is nourishing to do things that you enjoy. Well, I didn't expect anything else from the owl spirit to be so clear-cut and straightforward in their communication. You know what? I almost forgot the book divination. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose your poem now. Okay, so we landed on Ariel. Ariel. In this fairy tale, Ariel does not look at her childhood, her family, the ocean, as though it is something she needs to leave behind for the love of a man. In this fairy tale, she chooses her ocean over the prince because she knows love is something that can happen over and over again, but everything in the ocean that is dying cannot be brought back to life again. She uses her voice to empower other mermaids to stand against humans destroying their home. She nurses injured sharks and dolphins and fish back to health. She wears armor and with her warrior sisters topples poachers' boats, leaving them to fight their own way out of the water. She loves her body as it is and does not resent her fishtail and wish for legs or wish to be a land girl because she recognizes what she was born in was special. She teams up with a sea witch and encourages her to use her magic to aid in her quest to save the ocean, home to both of them. And maybe one day she will fall in love, and maybe one day she will find a prince. or princess, my edition. Or maybe one day she will choose never to marry. Or maybe one day she will decide to rule instead. But before she does any of that, for all her hard work for the ocean, she will be remembered. And this is from Nikita Gill, Poems of Rebellion, Fire and Beauty. I find this so interesting because of the voice to empower other mermaids, and it's a very powerful energy that she has that's represented in this book, which brings me back to the owl energy of being able to see things that others cannot, and using your voice to create something new, right? Because she does choose a new home, like she doesn't like to renew her home in this poem, but it's still about the home, about the healing element. I love that. All right, that's it, truly. And I will cut back to the outro that I did before. This is the reading that I have for you. You got it. Remember to check the description box for the additional resources that I will give you. And I'm so excited about this for you. If you want to share a little bit in the comments, feel free to. There will be lots of support and love for you, and people going about manifesting their lives in similar ways. So perhaps if you don't have people like this in the physical that connect with you on that level, you can also go online and look more in these communities, which, by the way, if you are looking into manifesting a home and you have doubts creeping in, also look at different success stories of people sharing their stories, how they manifested it. Not necessarily to copy, because each one of us has their own unique approach to it. And you are, like we already saw in your reading, you're well on your way of doing that. You have the daydreaming down. This is little thing that I said about the bringing the what's the word? The emotions in it and the sensuality is more like fine-tuning it, but you already got it locked down. So it's not for you to compare, but it's more to strengthen your belief that it's possible for you to do that. All right. So this is what I have for you. I'm so excited for this, and I'm so excited that for the next 12 months I will have an animal guide reading with a specific topic or power quality each month. I love this. This is great. Okay, that's it for me. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope I see you soon again. Bye. If you chose this owl card and the rose cards, welcome to your reading. Now, before we get into the cards, after I pull your cards, I like to meditate a bit and see if any messages come straight through. And I heard quite a bit for you. The first thing is that you are my healers. I can tell. You are my healers. And I heard that you are in a moment of divine intervention to correct your course. And that something was recently revealed to you. I got the imagery of the deer in headlights. And that right now you're calculating your next couple of steps. So it's like either something was revealed to you or you had a personal epiphany about something which felt like something was revealed to you. It can be a personal truth. So what I got was that you were kind of like woken up to the healer archetype within yourself, and that you're now looking to change and adjust everything. There's a little element of chaos that I felt. And I also heard the word trust, for you to trust the supportive energies and that the chaos is temporary. Okay, with that being said, I would like to get into this card first, and then we will light your wish or your dream candle. Let's have a look at this one for a moment, because this is such an interesting energy, or such an interesting depiction of this card in general. And when you look at this, you see that the third eye here, which in this case is an owl eye, is open. So there is a visionary element to it. And you see that this is placed in the darkness, so at night. So it's being able to see and filter through the darkness by extrasensory perception in a way. What I mean by that is, in the context of the few messages that I just gave you, it's being able to see the path ahead for you, or getting a vision for your path as a healer and the way in which you want to change and adjust your life, while simultaneously releasing everything that no longer serves you. You see here the leaves that are falling, the autumn leaves that are falling. For me, I was very drawn to this particular element of the card when it flew out. It was something that I saw straight away. So I'm being drawn to a big moment of release before you can spread your wings and fly, and trusting your intuition, because owls are, in the symbolism, very, very richly steeped into knowledge, wisdom, but intuition, clairvoyance, more than anything. So being able to see, and owls can see in the darkness, right? They hunt at night. So that is their prime time in a way. When others are not able to see, that is when they can see. So that's where the trust as well comes in, when you're someone that has these qualities, because you are able to see in places where others cannot. It's doubly important to trust your own intuition. With that said, I want to read from the book, because every owl card that I pulled is from a different deck, and all of them have slightly different meanings. So I'm reading this one. I am owl. I am the silence of the night. I am the arrival of mysterious things. I am the revealer of hidden tracks beneath the snow and ghosts within the psyche. I am the unsettling of darkness. I am the goddess of death. At times you cannot see me, but I permeate all worlds. My hunting grounds are the soul. You are a skilled listener. You are a well-seasoned traveler of realities. I have been watching your movements and tracking your steps. You are beginning to see beyond the veil and crack the illusions of night, but you must be vigilant and watch your step in the blackness. Take the quiet road and guard your inner world with determined purpose. There is a vast trove of power that will guide you well as you soar into the cosmos. But before you boast of your new winged ally, realize that I am no bringer of easy roads. My path is lonely and requires retreat into the forests of the mind. This is where all awareness begins, and where all experience comes home to fulfill its purpose. You are a sober night vision. You are a master of the shadows. You are at ease in solitude. You are owl. And with that little calibration message for our reading, let's light your candle. I want you to take a moment. We will take a deep breath in a second together and think about your dream, about what you want to create, what you want to manifest, what you want to bring into reality. And I want you to visualize it. Take a deep breath, visualize it as I light the candle. So let's take a deep breath in and out together. And this dark candle that already burned so bright that my camera decides not to pick it up, I will let it burn out for you, like burn down for you off camera, to let the intention of that sink. All right. That was a very powerful calibration message for this reading. I love it. Okay, let's actually look into your cards, into the first few. You, by the way, you've got a lot of cards, more than pile one. So the first card that we have is healing. We have animals. Wow, this is a powerful card to get, the crowning. Initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. We have the Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. And we got one more for you that I'm gonna need to place somewhere. Release the petals. It's the same imagery like the falling leaves. Transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. Wow. Okay, does this actually fit here? Okay. To rearrange this for a moment. You have very powerful energies present here already. Already in the first few cards, because the owl is from this deck the owl in general is a very, very powerful animal guide. But particularly in this deck, it speaks of we just heard the message, it speaks of the mysterious elements that are at play, and trusting your intuition and taking the next step and following while releasing everything that no longer serves you. And we have these cards of initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth. We have transformation, death and rebirth. We have shedding, all change. And like the message that I got in the beginning before I even looked at any of your cards was that you are trying to change and adjust everything because of this one sudden realization that you are a healer. Which brings me to the type of healer that you are, because we are only realizing that we are healers when we have been through a significant portion of our own healing journey. And when we've completed that, that's when the realization kicks in that we are healers, because that part of the journey that we've been on prior is something that we can now teach others, right? That's how we move forward. And that's why the healing card is present. It's present because you are a healer, but it's also present because it is the foundation for you realizing that you are a healer, is because you have done so much healing on yourself. And on that note, it can feel like it's never ending in a way when we've been on a long healing journey. And I feel like you have been on a long healing journey already. It can feel like when can we catch a break? When can we catch a break? So I'm feeling this chaos energy that is there, like it's weighing a little heavy on you right now, because you feel like you want to catch a little break and give your head time to, in a way, keep up with all of the realizations, with all of the changes that you want to make. So we will look a bit deeper into the cards, and I also pulled cards on how you can support yourself through this journey. So we will look at that, but this is more about the overarching energies, or so the topic that the owl wants to speak about. We have the animals here, and it's funny because this also came out in pile number 1 as the second position, and they're actually, for you, there is the exact same species of owl present in this card. So you cannot get a bigger confirmation that the owl spirit is active in your life right now than to receive this card with another owl energy from this deck, because this is not a deck that has animals in it, except for this one. This is the only one. So this is quite powerful for me. And even when you look at this, there is so much support surrounding her from different sources. We have a white dove that's flying, right? That's the symbol of spirit. We have a black cat here, which is good luck, good fortune. We have the wolf here, which is an animal of leadership, loyalty, pack mentality. So like it's the tribe in a way. And we have the owl, the wisdom that's present here. And we have behind her the full moon. So this speaks about this realization of realizing the previously unconscious, that you are a healer and it's time to move forward. And all of these energies, I'm drawn to them because the universe is supporting that. Remember how I got this message? The first message that I got was that the divine intervention, you are in a moment of divine intervention to correct your course. All of these energies are present and guiding you through that. Even though it feels chaotic, even though it feels like you are a bit lonely at times, there is so much support in the unseen world and behind the scenes that you will be able to sense when you calm down a bit more. Because we need to, with all of the subtle energies, we need to have a certain relaxed state in order to perceive them. But I feel like perceiving them as part of your gifts. Some of you do know, some of you don't. So this is something that will unfold further as you go through this. Then we have the crowning, the initiation, the thresholds, the birth, rebirth, and a seat at the table. And even when you look at this, you see down here there is a newborn baby, and that is you in that sense. And you see how there's unseen hands supporting this baby. There's like unseen support. So this new start for you, as chaotic as it feels, is very, very greatly supported for you. This is a card, by the way, that I will read to you in a second because I feel like it's very important for you to hear the exact phrasing of this. And then we have Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, and harmony. I'm being less drawn to the relationship, to be honest. I feel more it's about, relationship, let me rephrase that. There is an element in your reading and in your energy that draws me to the relationship, partnership, romantic partnership, to be more specific. But I feel like right now it is not the focus. I feel like now the focus is you navigating being a healer and adjusting and changing your life in such a way that you can be authentically living the new version of yourself. What I mean by that is you, for example, working as a healer or giving the healer within you a more prominent space in your life, right? Not everyone who has a heal or who is a healer works in a, I'm going to say, more or less traditional healing application, because healers are in every profession. There are healers that are bakers, for example. There are healers that are teaching kids at school, It's like in every single profession you have healing archetypes, and we need healing archetypes in every single profession. And I feel like you're figuring out right now how to marry your healing archetype with your career and what you want to do. I feel like there's a shift and there's a releasing of the old. So there's something new being born, like a new idea that's conceived in a way. But I'm not getting messages about what that is, like specifically what that is. I think this is the owl, the owl coming through of not wanting to take a lot away from your own realization on this journey. Remember, this card spoke of taking steps in the darkness and trusting yourself and being cautious and being more quiet. So it's a very individual part of this initiation process. But the alignment, the flow, and the harmony is when things fall into place in a new way. Before they can fall into place, they fall apart and it feels like destruction sometimes. When in reality, It's the old falling away in order to make space for the new. But when you're in the moment of the old falling away, it can feel very detrimental. It can feel like the ground is very, very shaky. I think that's where parts of this like panic feeling that I'm getting from you is coming in, because it's not, you feel like you're not standing on solid ground because everything is changing. And also on top of everything changing, you want to adjust everything to fit the new version of you. So parts of the initiation, like on a personal level, you've done the initiation. What's now happening is that the outer world is aligning to the new version of you. And that element, that realignment feels like chaos and feels unstable. But you need to trust that, okay, this is the initiation process. This is the rebirth. This is you being in alignment. You're not out of alignment. You are in alignment, and you're going with the flow of these changes. That's very important that you keep going with this. Keep trusting this new that's being born. You're seeing it for a reason. It's coming up for you for a reason, because it's the most authentic version of you is to pursue this new. And then we have here, release the petals. And even this imagery, she looks so graceful, the way that she's standing there and just releasing it into the wind to get carried away, right? And even just when you think about early springtime, not early springtime, it would be later springtime, when all of the trees are in bloom and the petals start to fall and you have wind, it looks so beautiful the way that it's carried. It almost looks like snow, but in a very gentle way. And there is a graceful element to releasing the old that the owl energy is calling you to. It doesn't have to be a struggle to release and to let go. And I know saying that is easy, and it's not the most easy thing to do, to release, particularly when we are changing and adjusting pretty much every part of our life. There are also people connected to our old life that no longer resonate with us, that we can no longer resonate, that we can no longer take with us on our new journey. Not because they are terrible human beings or something, it's just that we've grown in different directions, and the type of realization that you had means that there are a lot of people no longer fitting the new version of you, in the sense of it's very subtle. It's very subtle. It's something like the conversations that you want to have, the topics that you want to talk about, the ideas that are starting to form in your mind about how the world could be and what you can create, how you could heal, where you could employ yourself, etc. If someone is on a very different track than you, it's difficult to find this connection. So I'm also feeling some pain from your end about feeling disconnected from the old. And that's where this release is coming through. You need to release this, because there are new people waiting to come in as well. You need to shed the old and make room for the new. This is not to say that you need to release everyone and everything and like just kick everyone away, right? Because people grow in different times, and sometimes, it doesn't have to be permanent, is what I'm saying. Sometimes friendships, you take a little break because you're both taking like different detours, but in the end you will reconnect again and realize, oh, actually, we've kind of been learning the same lesson. We've just been going in different journeys to learn it specifically for us, but we realize at the end, actually, we've been learning the same thing, and you reconnect again. That's what I'm saying. That's where this graceful element is coming through. So if there are energies present in your life right now that feel like what I just described, you can have a conversation with them as gentle as you can, and just release them for a time, or release the need or the guilt that's connected to no longer feeling aligned with them. Because you are so aligned to yourself now, and you're coming into such an aligned version of yourself, like just you being yourself, true to yourself, authentically in alignment and in flow with yourself. That's where the owl wants me to draw your attention to, and that's where you should be putting your main focus is on that coming together for yourself. I'm really excited for that for you. I will read the crowning for you. The crowning. Initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. There comes a time when the flower knows that it can no longer remain in the protective constraints of the bud. Somehow, it needs to trust in the birthing energy and surrender to the unknown of the bloom. The same birthing energy exists within all of nature and in birth, both physical and metaphorical. It's an initiation for the mother as well as the child, who transitions from the water world of the womb to a whole new one on earth. This is a card of crossing thresholds and walking through the gates of initiation, which requires great courage and faith. There are rolling contractions, and it's almost always not straightforward. As we transition from one thing to another, we're called to burst through the constraints of the seed, and then the certainty of the bud, so that something new can bloom from within. We are always birthing something, and deep inside we know that the only way to surrender to the initiation is to surrender to the innate power within. This power is inner, but it's also connected with the intelligence that exists within all life. It's the same energy that tells flowers when to bloom, and it was present when you grew in your mother's womb. Trust in that. It will carry you through. Surrender to its wanting to be born through you. Life is always trying to initiate us into even more of who we truly are. Soul inquiry. How is life trying to initiate you? Honestly, I have nothing more to add to this. Surrender to the change. We've talked about this. Let's look, because of this energy, let's look into ways that you can support yourself. I'm very, very curious. And like I said, I got a lot of cards for you here. The first one we have is Spider Woman. She who creates from a central source. Oh, wow. Eclipse with transformation. We have another transformation card for you. That's crazy. That is the third transformation card. Okay. We have Freya, warrior goddess of strength, passion, and magic. We have Isis, goddess of magic and love. Two goddesses of magic. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at the cards. Kali, goddess of rebirth and transformation. You know, in case you didn't know, you were going through a moment of transformation and rebirth. I love it. They're like, this is it. This is the most important point. Garnet, passion, sensuality, and grounding. You have Opal, with happiness, imagination, and creativity. We have manifestation, create the life you want. And we have one more, Yemaya, goddess of the sea and mother of all. She fits so well into the backdrop that I have today with all of the stars. I'm going to start actually with this energy because I'm not placing it down. I feel like this is who you are growing into. I feel like this is you. And the stars, that it looks like she's giving out stars in a way, right? I feel like this is you. This is your divine spark, and I feel like this is you in the full power of your healer energy, and spreading healing, spreading your spark. And the goddess of the sea, I mean, the sea is the symbol for the emotionality, for the emotional health, emotional depth, and mother of all. There's this nurturing energy that is present in all healers. I feel like this is who you are growing into, and because I feel like it, I'm going to place her right on top of the healing card, because I feel like this marks the journey that you've been on and where you are now. So like, in a way, the journey from your past self to where you are now, and this is your future energy. And also she's very large, like physically, right? It's like the energy that you're generating within yourself. It's very, very strong, very potent. All right. Well, besides us learning that you are in a moment of rebirth and transformation, we are getting some clues here about how you can support yourself. The first one and most powerful one is this one right here, Spider Woman, she who creates from a central source. I want to draw your attention to the fact that her eyes are closed. So she's listening in to herself, like to her own guidance. And that's how she's creating the web, the net. So in translation for you going forward, follow your little intuitive hits that you're getting about something that you're wanting to learn, for example. It's not necessary for you to wait until you have the full picture of the healing business that you want to build, or the healing qualities that you want to employ in your work. When you start to have the small ideas, start following them, because all of them are little breadcrumbs that will lead you to the full vision. It's like the owl card said that we read at the very beginning. It's dark right now, and you cannot see fully ahead on the path, but the next step and the next step and the next step will be revealed, and you need to trust that, because you have so many powerful energies that are supportive of this journey of yours. They will reveal, you need to trust that they will reveal the next step for you when the time is right, and you will receive it through your intuition, you will receive it through ideas of what you're drawn to. Because even a spider, they don't create their net all at once. They start with the bigger structures, and then they go into the smaller ones, and then they create the smaller ones. They're very methodical. If you're not terrified of spiders and are interested in that, look up a little time-lapse video on how they create their webs. It's absolutely mesmerizing. They're very methodical. They're very intricate. And I'm being drawn to this idea of building the bigger structures first and then filling in the details, in the way of you navigating this change and making sure that that the big pillars are solid and standing and taken care of first. What I mean by that is not necessarily just about your business, but about the way that you take care of yourself, right? It's not only work, it's also to make time to nourish yourself. Self-care, particularly when you have such intense energies happening as we see here for you right now. Self-care is very important, and I mean it is also the cutesy let's take a bubble bath and throw on a face mask, but I'm being drawn more specifically to giving yourself a bedtime, sleeping enough, eating healthy foods, making sure that you are moving your body in a way that nourishes you to release tension and stress. So it's more the more like practical grounding aspects of it. Did we also get a card of, we get a card of grounding aspects of it to make sure that you are, as much as you can, standing on the ground right now, because this is a moment of instability. If you're not focusing on grounding, this chaos energy will also start to fill your head, and we want to create. You're in a moment that you want to create. So focus on calming your body down as much as you can, because this will create more peace and calm for your mind, which will then allow yourself to hear your intuitive hits, and from there on forward to create the new. Even in this transformation card, she is, as you see down here, fully rooted, right? You see the roots coming down. This is, by the way, as well, a nice visualization technique when you are meditating every day, to visualize roots coming, like light roots coming down, and reaching very, very deep into the earth to anchor you. There are also nice meditations for that on YouTube that you can look up for specifically visualizing the roots going down. So grounding is very important in this moment. We see that she's sitting in meditation here, and I mean, she's also introspective in the Spider-Woman card, so introspection right now is important, and creating as much calm as possible. As well, with the heart center being highlighted here, and around there is kind of the like navel, or more so actually it's more around the root chakra where her hand is. The root chakra stands for the stability, for the security that you feel within yourself, and then we have the heart, the center for the emotions as well. So it's about being as grounded as you can through this process of rebirth and transformation. And when you are in a meditative state, and you are in a calmer state, or you're like just centered in yourself as much as you can, that's when it's easier to surrender to the changes, because you start to see the bigger vision, you start to feel the supportive energies around you, and it's easier to trust because you feel safe in your body. So really, like, feeling safe in your body is something that I'm specifically being drawn to create that. Basically create security, a new type of a new sense of security within yourself is something that you're learning right now as well as you go through this, where the security is less dependent on outer sources, and more you being grounded in yourself. That's really beautiful. I love that for you. See, and then we have here the warrior goddess of strength, passion, and magic. This is like the inner strength that Freya is bringing forth. And then we have here the goddess of magic and love, and right underneath here, under these two energies as well, where I spoke about the supportive energies, like different type of energies being present in your life. It's represented here in the cards as well, because you see all of these like magical beings, all of these goddesses, all of these elements that are present here. And I got the message divine intervention to correct your course, and we see here that there are 5 energies present. So there are five spirit guides, specifically 5 that are focusing very, very strongly on this journey of yours right now, that are working very closely on this journey of yours with you. And they're giving you the information that you need, and guiding you through this darkness by giving you the crumbs of inspiration. Which is also, by the way, how you ended up on this specific video, is because you listened to this intuition. They threw this video at you and were like, here, watch it, and you actually did. So it's these elements as well that are giving you confirmation and guiding you. Okay, so I'm speaking for them a bit right now as well, which is interesting. But they're not the prominent one. The owl energy is prominent, but they are coming through clearly, because we also have here like Kali, goddess of rebirth and transformation. And I mean, I don't need to say more about the rebirth and transformation. I'm just going to move on. We have here the garnet card with the passion, the sensuality, and the grounding. I mean, the passion is here as well. And we spoke about you following or creating a new life for yourself and changing and adjusting everything because you learned that you are actually a healer. And in a way, this is you following your passions, right? So this is encouraged. At the same time, the sensuality and the grounding are emphasized for me. We spoke a little bit about grounding, but the sensuality is the most important aspect of the grounding, because grounding activities are any activities that make you fully present in your body. So that is quite literally engaging all of your senses. So whatever resonates with you, whatever you can do that engages your senses, it can be something that takes up more time, just, like working out for 30 minutes or something like this. But it can also be drawing your attention to feeling your senses in the moment, of just focusing on one single breath, feeling the sensation of it, filling your lungs, the fullness of it, feeling how cool or warm the air feels when it comes into your nose and goes into your body, etc. It is something like washing the dishes and feeling the warm sensation of the water on your skin, for example, and smelling the soap as well when you're showering, right? So there are like so many moments of our daily lives where we can take a moment and focus on fully being present, on feeling all of these sensations. And you are encouraged of implementing more of these smaller moments into your day-to-day life, or putting more of your focus on it, because that is something that will ground you easily, and that was something that create more of the security, because you're trusting your senses, you're feeling your senses. It's a different type of union that you're creating with yourself, a different type of harmony that you're coming into with yourself. And then we have happiness, creativity, and imagination. Yes, because from this grounded place, that's the moment where you can then move forward and create the new, and let the creativity fly and the imagination coming in, and following your happiness. And that is the moment where you can start to manifest, where you can create the life you want. But that being said, all of these small steps in between are necessary. All of the seemingly random ideas that you're following, you need to trust that in the end, all of them will come together, and all of them will play a huge part in your manifestation, because you are manifesting every single day and every second. With every action that you're taking, you are manifesting. Okay, this is, yes, there are rituals that you can do about this, of course, but with every action that you're taking, you're voting for the new life that you're creating. So, you saying that you are willing to release the old and grow into something new because it feels more aligned to you, and then let's say there's one healing modality that you're interested in, and you booking your first course and going there, even if you don't have the intention of making it your job, you need to trust that it will lead you just bit by bit into the right direction. And this is already you showing the universe that you're interested in pursuing this path, right? So you're voting with your energy, you're strengthening certain parts of your energy when you are doing that, when you are reading an article about, let's say you have a specific idea about the healing that you want to implement, and you're either looking at someone who's already doing that, or you're researching different ideas on how you could implement that. That is also an action that you're taking, that is voting for the new that you're creating. It's the podcast that you're listening to when you are on your walk, or on your way to your old job, or something like that. All of these micro actions are parts of the manifestation already. Okay, now I have one closing message for you, and then we have the book to read, the poem. We have here reconciliation. By the way, all of my decks will be linked down below in the description box. Reconciliation, Rowan. Healing, strength, and purpose is in your focus. Tune into the beautiful energies of nature to allow a deeper understanding of things. Discern what to hold fast and what to let go. This makes me smile because, yep. We've talked exactly about this, and then we have the white pine here with healing. Oh, there's my camera. You see also how here around, like in her face, around her third eye heart, there is an energy vortex. There's an energy vortex around the heart. There's an energy vortex down here around the sacral chakra, which is connected to the emotions. We have healing. You may feel you have been shaken to the bones by something and your energy is low and feeling scattered. Go within to help you remember how to put the pieces back together. Shine light on the core of what is most important to you. In what way can you heal relationships that have been fractured in some way? And this goes back to what I said about releasing the petals, how sometimes you need to release something and later on you will find together again. And this reconciliation card as well spoke about discerning what just needs to go for good. Sometimes things just need to go for good and leave our lives. And this is very much in line with this. Okay, let me choose a poem for you. By the way, I'm reading from the Wild Embers book from Nikita Gill. Let me take a moment. Okay, they straight up gave me a page. They said page number, or like the first poem. Is that the first poem? Yeah. Okay, miracle. It took 3.8 billion years of triumphant evolution, remarkable collision, an unbelievable confluence made by sheer will and influence of this infinite universe and all of the stars to get you here. I hope you never doubt again that even when you are in pain, that you are a miracle, that every part of you is incredible. Okay, I got the chills with that, yo. Wow. This made by sheer will and influence of this infinite universe and all of the stars to get you here. All of these energies working together on this, on bringing you on this healing path, on your self-healing path to bring you to this moment of expansion is what I'm getting. That's so powerful. I love that so much for you. This is the reading that I have for you today. Very, very powerful. I am excited for you as well. I mean, I know there's chaos and I can feel it, but I'm so excited as well for you. It's wonderful. If you want to share a bit in the comments down below, feel free to. I'm always so curious to hear about your experiences and what you're going through. And like I said, this will be a monthly thing from for the whole next year, where also next month I have an animal guide coming through with a very specific topic of power quality, like a power quality of theirs to share. And I hope I will see you again sometime and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye. If you chose this beautiful owl card and the citrine, welcome to your reading. Before we get into the cards, I would like to get a few messages out because after I pull your cards, I don't look at your cards, but I like to sit with a pile and meditate, and I will have messages coming through already. And already while I pulled your cards, I heard the words burning out. And then that was what I heard when I pulled your cards. And then when I meditated, I heard a bit more. So I want to get that out of the way first. I heard that you are moving right now out of fear, that you have active within yourself a scarcity mindset, a little lack of trust in yourself, lack of trust that you are capable and that you need a shift in perspective because you are more than capable of creating what you're currently creating. I specifically heard and saw someone reorganizing a shelf and taking just reorganizing things. And I heard reorganizing your work to ensure that you can fill your own cup, to sustain yourself and your vision. So right away, I'm getting this feeling that you are right now building a business. And this business you're very committed to it. You are very passionate about it. It's what you've always wanted to build and you're going at it. And because of that, there is this burning out element that I heard. But I'm going to pop your crystal right up here. And before we get into the cards, let's take a moment and look at this, and then I will read the message from the deck, because all of the owl cards that I pulled are from different decks, so all of them have a different meaning, which I find quite interesting. I mean, for this one, we get the keyword already with wisdom. And you see here she's flying, like she's in the middle of flight, right? So that's also, out of all of the 3 cards that we saw, that's a very, very active element present in this card, right? You see that she's in hunting mode. She's looking around. She's in hunting mode. And owls hunt in the middle of the night, right? And I mean, her wings are in like the highest position that they can go, right? So this is full power, full steam ahead already, what I'm getting as an image here. But she's taking time to look, and owls are able to look in the darkness because they hunt at night. So they're able to see things that other people cannot. So that's where the vision element kicks in of your own business as well, where you are essentially, the image that I'm getting is your eyes are locked on the prize and you are just full force, like trying to get there as fast as possible without actually taking time to enjoy the journey. But let's read the message here. Wisdom. Owls are closely associated with Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom. Known for their nocturnal vision, owls represent knowledge and erudition, with a hint of mystery. The hop is an impressive plant, able to climb up to 20 feet in a single growing season. Combined, the pair indicate spiritual and intellectual fulfillment. And the question that this card poses is, am I content? And I feel like this question, are you content, is an important indicator of this journey, because while I feel like you are committed to what you're doing and you are like, you love what you're building. Let me put it like this. You love what you're building. But contentment and feeling satisfied is about more than just work. Fulfillment and satisfaction is something that sets in when our lives are more balanced, when there's more than one area that we are happy about. And satisfaction and contentment starts not with the external and the external circumstances, but it starts within you, and it starts with yourself. With how you feel physically in your body, how you feel also mentally in your body, how you feel about yourself. That's where the contentment and that's where the satisfaction starts. And that's also where the scarcity mindset kicks in, and that's where it starts, because when we ourselves feel like we are on some level not enough, we then externalize that in the way of, particularly when it comes to building your own business, we're kind of hunting, how shall I say this? We're kind of hunting for the external validation in such a way, with such hunger and so much drive, because we're hoping that it will reflect back to us the satisfaction and the content and the validation that we do not feel about ourselves. And that's where this scarcity mindset kicks in. I know this is not an easy message to hear, so I apologize about that. This is not meant in a harsh way. It's about the truth that the owl has, because once the awareness for this is there, that's when you can start working on it. And listen, you already knowing what you want to do and what you want to create is fantastic. You going full force at it is fantastic. That's great. what we're working on here together right now and figuring out is the sustainability element of it, of making you the happiest that you can be. That's what we're here for, okay? So just want to say that. All right, let's look into the first few cards that you got. We have prosperity. Yes, jackpot. I feel like your idea and what you're building is very lucrative. It brings a lot of prosperity. But listen, also prosperity, I mean, here it's about the coins. You see all of the coins around. But prosperity as well is about so much more than just money. True prosperity is about feeling abundance. And abundance is not tied to monetary gains at all. It's about the richness of life. It's about the fullness of life, the fullness of experiencing your feelings, both on the higher end of the spectrum and on the and on the lower end of the spectrum. It's about spending a day out in nature and fully feeling the sunshine on your skin and swimming, etc. You know, it's this just the fullness, this richness of life. That's true prosperity. We have passion here. And being on fire. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I do feel like you're so passionate about building this. And there's so much prosperity. Maybe that's also why it's such a driving factor, because that is how, well, my personal perspective, that's kind of the old way of creating a business, where you burn yourself out because you are driving yourself to be higher, faster, more, with little regard for your own well-being and filling your own cup and taking time for yourself, because that would then take time away from the business. I mean, we are in late-stage capitalism, so, you know, that's pretty much what's modeled to us, but it's not the only way in which you can create your business. That's just one way to create your business. So that's, I feel like, where the reorganization comes in. We have the wastelands, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. And you see how parched this earth is. I feel like that's your energy. That's you. That's where this burning out comes through. This, like not filling up your own cup. And then we have, yes, we are nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. So we have two energies about being, like, slowing down and being present in your body, which also tells me that you're very much like mind over matter type of person right now, or particularly when it comes to this pushing your body past your boundaries. And that's where this question comes in with, am I content? Because I would like to ask you and be honest with yourself. Does the way in which you are creating this actually feel good to you? Does it feel good to you? Do you feel good in your body? How do you sleep? How is it affecting your life? How do you have time to see your friends? Are you taking care of your body? Are you moving? How are you sleeping? First and foremost, I'm really being drawn to your sleep, because when we're so driven, it's difficult for the mind to shut off, and that's where this panic energy almost kicks in order to, I need to do more. This is something that's, when it's so overactive, that's something that kicks in when we don't take enough time to rest, and it's like just being very overstimulated and not giving yourself time every single day to remove stimuli and to come back down to earth in a way. So that's why we have these two here, becoming grounded, Sustainability slow down, yeah. If it's not sustainable, listen, it's very clear that you're very passionate about what you're creating. It's very clear that there's a lot of prosperity there, and that's beautiful. I love that for you. That's great. That's incredible. But don't you want to build it in such a way that it will sustain you, that it will be pleasurable for you to work at for a long period of time? I'm posing this question for you because I do not know what your goals are. I'm posing this as a question for you to ask yourself. And how would it look like? How would a sustainable workday for you look like in structure? Don't think about everything that you need to do. Let's put that aside for a moment, but ask yourself this question: how would a sustainable working day look like for me? When would I start working? When would I stop? How would I support myself? Because I'm really being drawn to the supportive elements that are present on this side, and I find it quite pronounced as well that for you there is a split between two sides, where this is kind of the darkness where the owl has just like flown through, and this is where she's flying, right? So there's also a hopeful element that when you are employing this and when you are seeing this and bringing this into balance in your life, then like there's the connection between these two. And that's actually when you're at your most powerful. That's also when you're moving from an abundant mindset. And that's, I think, really what I'm supposed to talk to you about, is because when you have an abundant mindset, you are working in a sustainable way, in a way that supports you. You're working for the joy of it. Yes, it's your passion driving you. There is also a lot of prosperity around. You're not burning yourself out. You're filling your own cup. You have time to see your friends. You have time to see and take care of your body, and you sleep well. And it's all around a life that is built around satisfaction. It's contentment. It's abundance. It feels very, very good to live this life. And when you have this abundant mindset, there is no need for you to try and burn yourself out, because you know that the universe is supporting this mission of yours. And because the universe is supporting this passionate mission of yours, the clients, the people, everything will align to you in such a way and at the right time to benefit you the most. So this need in order to run out and try to outdo everyone else is no longer present. There is a calmness about building a business from an abundant mindset and having this in mind. And from personal experience, things actually do come together in wonderful and wondrous ways. It really happens like this, where I'm not saying there's no effort involved. There's effort involved because you need to take your steps, but you do not need to worry about your needs not being taken care of, because you're taking a couple of steps back and working within the boundaries of your body. Because the universe is supporting you working within the boundaries of your body. So all the resources, all the clients, all the money, etc., like everything that you want, you will still get the same amount, and actually even more than that, when you are working from a centered space within yourself. So taking time to replenish yourself is very, 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 very important. Also, when it comes to ideas, the more grounded you are in your body, the more calm that you are, the more space you allow ideas to flow through you, because when we're calm, that's when the intuition can come in. So that's another way in which you can support your business and build more prosperity and a richer life in that way. Okay. I'm going to read this card for you in a moment, but this is the point where I would actually like to light your dream candle with you. I think this is the right moment. So with this candle, it's basically for you to make a wish or an intention for your dream on what you want to create. And we needed to get a little bit into the energies first in order to kind of get an idea for the most powerful dream or wish that you could ask for. And we will take a few deep breaths in a moment, and then I will light the candle. You make your wish as I light it, and I will let this burn completely down off camera so that your wish and your dream can manifest. Okay, so am I ready? Yeah, I am. Okay, so we have this dark candle here. Let's take 3 deep breaths in and out. 1, 2, 3. Think of your wish now. See, and it already burns so bright that my camera can pick it up. That's lovely. All right. Okay. So. Okay, nice. I also feel a bit calmer now. I feel the energy from you is also a bit calmer. So breathing, already before we go into the other cards, already breathing I feel like might be a good supportive tool for you to just focus on conscious breathing. Actually, I will leave one resource down for you about I'm a big fan of the smaller support tools. So I will leave it's kind of a meditation down for you, like a breathwork thing that only takes 5 minutes. It's just 5 minutes of mindful breathing, because deep breathing already will calm the body down and release stress. But I want to read the Wastelands card for you. Yeah. The Wastelands. Sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. There's an anonymous 13th century French myth in the form of a poem called The Elucidation that tells the story of a king who abuses the land he's supposed to be the guardian of. The king breaks the trust of the well maidens, the spirits who are guarding the wells of the land, and they flee. The waters run dry, the plants wilt, and the land, which was once rich and fertile, becomes barren, creating a wasteland. This is the most powerful card in the deck. It's a wake-up call for us to stop the destructive behavior that's resulting in us becoming brittle and unable to live in a sustainable way. The sacred feminine is abundant. She knows that the earth can provide for what we need and that she doesn't need to take more than she needs. She tends the earth around her and within her. She's the keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. The rose has seen civilizations come and go, empires rise and fall. In this card, she's delivering an urgent message to slow down and stop any way of being that is not sustainable, to release anything that's making us brittle, to tend our garden, our bodies, and the earth around us. Soul inquiry. What way of being is no longer sustainable for you? I'm actually also going to read this one because I feel like it's important. It has a similar message. We are nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, and living in connection. We've built a world on top of the world. If you look up the word nature in a dictionary, you'll see a reference to plants, animals, and landscapes as opposed to humans. We speak of getting into nature or getting grounded as something we need to do. We have forgotten that we don't exist in nature, we are nature. Indigenous earth-based traditions have always seen the planet and all beings as interconnected and sacred, humans as one with the earth itself. The earth and Mother Rose are calling us back to the earth, to weave the sacred back in, to weave nature back into the center of our everyday lives, to see ourselves as nature, and to spend more time interacting with the living natural world, returning to nature. How's your connection with nature? How's your relationship with your own body? How can you live in a more grounded way? This card is an invitation to develop a deeper connection with the earth, to actively spend time with the physical, natural world around you, to tend it and to take your place as a custodian of it, to see the sacred in all of life, to notice the changing seasons around you and within you, and to remember that you too are part of the earth's ever-changing landscape, to remember that you are nature and that you'll always find your true nature in nature, to embrace your body as your home and the planet as your mother. Soul inquiry. How can you connect more deeply with nature and your own true nature? How can you return more to earth? I feel like these two are really important in the way of creating a change in your business and moving forward. You can be the same level of committed. If you take time for yourself, does not mean that you're not committed to creating. It also means that you're also committed to yourself and to your own well-being. And on becoming grounded, before we get into your other cards, you're becoming grounded every time that you are fully engaging the senses of your body. So that means also eating without watching something and just consciously eating and drinking. It is any activity that makes you present in your body, that is grounding, can be a longer task of working out for a certain amount of time, but it's also something when you're taking, let's say, a shower in the morning, instead of thinking about all of your to-do list, take a moment and actually feel the warm sensation of the water on your skin, how the water falls on top of your scalp like raindrops, and all of these micro moments of feeling embodied. That is what this speaks of. As much as a bigger shift. Okay. How can you support yourself? I mean, we got into this, but let's look deeper. Trust that you have power. We have priorities. Focus on what truly matters to you. We have choose love. We have blossom. We have Freya, warrior goddess of strength, passion, and magic. And we have, yes, a beautiful transformation, the eclipse card. What I love about this is that in a way it tells us that right now, while you feel that you are energy-wise, with the effort that you put into creating this, while you feel like you are at your limit, or not at your limit, that you are fully blossomed, our wisdom is telling us that actually you've only just begun. Because the more that you tend to yourself and fill your own cup, the more capacity you have to blossom in all areas of your life. So that's the full opening happens for you when you are tending more to yourself. Because not only will you have more capacities for this, yes, but because you are growing into a more authentic version of yourself, that's when the actual true blossoming of everything comes up. If we take this card as an analogy, this spoke about the fairies of the wells leaving the land, right? This is the land being nurtured again with water and everything, like just having gardens growing everywhere and flowers growing everywhere. That's the image that I'm being shown. With you restoring that for yourself, that's when everything starts to blossom again. So This is very much in your own hands to do. And this inner warrior trusts that you have the power. This is a moment for trusting your intuition and having the power to move forward. You see this as a warrior energy, but her eyes are closed because she's listening deeply to herself and to her own intuition. It's a fighter, but it's an inner strength that this person has, where they are very, very capable, but they have a peaceful energy about themselves. Meaning, if we take your business as an example, if there's a fire that needs to put out, you're more than capable of jumping into action and fighting on the first front. You're more than capable of that, but you need to return back to the peaceful quiet and to the inner strength in order to have this capacity. You don't need to be in the fight mode all the time. You need to give your body time to calm down, to allow your nervous system to calm down. And that's why we have this here. I mean, actually, let me show you both, because I'm very much being drawn to that. In both cards, she is holding the hand in her heart and she has her eyes closed. There is the spark of inspiration, and there her third eye is open, which is the center of our vision. And you see she's like in a meditative posture. She is focusing on herself. She's focusing inwards. And here with priorities, focus on what truly matters to you. I mean, it's you being your own center and choosing love as the guidance for your life and the way that you set yourself up. What I mean by that is you taking care of yourself is choosing love and choosing to act lovingly towards yourself. And that is what is meant here with the choose love. You burning yourself out is not a loving act towards yourself, and also not towards your business, because you are not at your best capacity when you're burning yourself out. That's also when mistakes start to happen. That's usually when the frantic energy that we have starts to build up, and we start to do more of that with it not working, when actually we should be taking some time to ground and center and come back down to look at everything with fresh eyes from a calmer perspective. So this like choosing love, when it comes to actions towards yourself, that's actually a question that I'm being drawn to from the owl wisdom here, from the owl guide, is for you to ask yourself, when you take certain actions, to ask yourself, is this loving towards myself? Ask yourself that, and then just observe what you're doing every single day. Observe how you're thinking about yourself, how you're speaking to yourself, and just do a little life review on how you're moving forward and how you're actually treating yourself, what you're telling yourself. And ask yourself if this is an act of love, and where you can bring more love in. That's also why we have like priorities, focus on what truly matters to you. That's also where this reorganization comes in. Focus only on the priorities. Delegate everything else that you can delegate. Yeah, that's when you're coming into blossom. And then we have here warrior goddess of strength, passion, and magic. I mean, we have the passion here as well, right? So there are two messages for this. The first one is the indication that when you are tending to yourself and making yourself blossom and bloom, right? This is the tending to the garden and letting everything blossom again, that there is so much passion, magic, and power that will be unlocked within yourself, that the things that you're creating when you're actually tending to yourself are absolutely magnificent. Magnificent. The second thing is with the strength, they're acknowledging that for you to even make it to this point, you have a lot of strength within yourself to be able to push yourself to this point where you're at right now, and actually be able to listen to a reading like this and take appropriate action afterwards, because I feel like you're a very logical person in that sense, where this is a bit of a little, like, it's not that, like, you know about this, but it's more a bit of a wake-up call where you're actually going to look at sort of like you're kind of like making an invoice for your life, where you're looking at the energy that you put in, you're looking at the energy that you're getting out of it, and realizing, actually, this is something that I need to factor in order to get a bigger outcome. This is what I'm being drawn to. So they're acknowledging that you are very, very strong to be able to make it up until this point. So they're proud of you for that. You needed to learn this lesson, so don't be hard on yourself for doing it this way. First of all, like I said, this is what's modeled for us everywhere. So this is how we're told that business is supposed to work. So there's already, if that's all you see, that's all you know, that's kind of what you follow. That's because that's how it's done. That's just how it's done. There are other models, so also maybe start researching more on sustainable businesses. And I don't mean sustainable, you can look into sustainable, where the product is sustainable is what I mean, but also the way that businesses are set up, like sustainable business models, so to speak. You can start to research that as well and see maybe something sparks your ideas. The other thing is that you do not need to be angry at yourself for doing that, because you needed to learn this lesson in order to reorganize and create something new. And this, like, reorganizing and creating new sustainable business models for ourselves is something that after the pandemic is very much in the focus of everyone, because we all realize that a lot of the old structures are not working anymore and we need to reorganize. So it seems to me that you are at the forefront of creating more sustainable business models so that others can then follow suit as well, right? And being at the forefront of creating something like this is not easy. It's very difficult. So I want you to be proud of yourself for that. It's incredible. Like I said, it's great. It's wonderful. And that's why we end here with the eclipse and the transformation, because you actually doing this and creating this will open your eyes in a way and realize, oh, okay, there's actually a different way to move through this with a lot more ease, with a lot more flow. And that's why the transformation is here. And you see underneath, she is grounded. You see all of the roots down here? This is a grounded energy. This is a grounded way of moving forward. I love that so much for you. That's fucking great. Got us right there for a second, sorry. Okay, I have 2 closing messages for you, and then I'm going to pull the poem for you. I want you to take a moment and look at this card. By the way, all of my decks will be in the description box down below that I'm using. And you see how she's in full bloom. You see that, right? You see all of the blossoms here. This is actually white lilac. And what I love about this is lilac in springtime, when it's in full bloom, you can smell this tree from so far away, because the scent of lilac, first of all, is very beautiful, but it spreads so much. And as closing cards, I feel like this is where the element of magic comes in for you in this reading, is when you are actually replenishing yourself and allowing yourself to bloom and blossom personally. The energy that you're able to send out will be picked up by everyone around in a very, very wide radius. That's where the scent is kicking in for me, because it carries. Okay, we have social confidence. We have, you may feel ill at ease in some social situations or amongst large groups. This may be a temporary state or in your true nature. You may fear rejection or humiliation by others. Relax and feel secure in the knowledge that you can loosen up and soften your view of others and their power. It is okay to make mistakes. How might you discern which social situations you really want to be part of? And I feel like this really speaks as well to the need for external validation that we touched upon in the beginning of the reading, where the more grounded you are within yourself and accepting of yourself, the others are actually getting less and less important. Not in the way that all of us become hermits, but in the way that there is less need for others to prove your worth. And because of that, interactions, even or particularly if you're uncomfortable, become much easier because you no longer stay in situations like this where you are okay to leave because your value doesn't depend on everyone else in the circle needing to approve of you because you already approve of yourself. I will actually leave, alongside the short 5-minute meditation, a little EFT video in the description box down below for you as well, surrounding self-validation. Yeah, I will do that. Okay. And then we have fear. Yeah. I mean, we spoke about this. Yeah. Large. When lacking in self-confidence, you may not be trying something through fear of failure. Depriving yourself of opportunities creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of increasingly feeling less important and prone to comparison. You are capable, and it is important for you to communicate from your own personal wisdom. Persevere despite setbacks and be open to the outcome. Yeah, this you are capable. I feel like that's tying the reading up very nicely because, like I said, this like energy of moving from fear, and I think it's one of the first things I said in this reading, that you are moving from fear, because it was a message that I got even before we got into the cards. While it's present and it came out very strongly for us around the business that you're creating and following your passions, it's always something that is active in every single part of our life, right? That's just the area where it's outwardly most visible for everyone, but it's active within ourselves in every aspect. Every aspect. That's why we need to heal. That's why you need to take care of yourself and tend to yourself, to nourish yourself and just tend to yourself for a bit. It's okay to say no to the social stuff and take care of yourself. It's good. You can do that. I believe in you. You can do that for yourself. And I'm so excited as well about what you're creating when you're in full bloom, because I see it's magnificent, truly magnificent. Okay, let me read the poem for you. I mean, pick it and then read it first. Take a moment. Actually, they said the third one last. All right. Okay, so we got Earth. When you are in pain, remind yourself of the earth and how she must have felt when she was born. Every single one of her oceans, her rivers, her forest, and her sky must have caused her agony in creation. And from her you will learn this. Growth is a thing of beauty and of pain. Without heartache, there are no lessons to gain. I feel like that is such a powerful way to end this reading for you, because it's clear that there's pain present. We've talked about this. And tending to yourself while you are creating yourself and it's kind of like this. It's kind of like making your own rivers. It's kind of like creating the flow within yourself again. It's not an easy task to do. But just like the earth, just think about how the rivers are nourish us, because the rivers are, with the waters, are nourishing the riverbanks, which is very fertile soil for us to grow our crops and nourish. And just think about that. So much like the earth, even though there was a process of pain in the birth and the creation, think of all the fertility and all of the nourishment for so many different people that follow suit. It's beautiful. Okay, I am a little bit in awe of this poem, actually. This is the reading that I have for you today. I am sending you the biggest hug. I believe in you. You can recreate yourself. And I hope I see you again soon. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.